I just wanted to make a quick video as to some changes in 11.2 and probably 11.2.1 in Xcode. Let's get started with a new project. Now, one thing you'll notice is when you start to create a new project, I'm going to just do a single view app here. And again, I'm going to go back and just make sure you don't forget to select iOS up here instead of tvS or Mac OS, unless you're doing that. Give my project some kind of random name. And one thing you'll notice is that it's going to want to default you to SwiftUI, which is their new reactive programming, their new way of building apps is in SwiftUI without using the storyboard. So it's pretty much you build stuff all in code. Very cool. But for this lesson and for most of our lessons, we're going to continue to use storyboard. But I think we'll be getting into SwiftUI very soon. Also make sure that Swift is selected. I'm not going to do core data or unit testing for this demo. And I'm just going to throw my project file somewhere randomly there. Secondly, this plus symbol here. So it used to be an object library is down here in the corner, and if you want to add a label or a button, you'd click and drag things in from down here. And then they had like a floating button over here for object library, and now it's kind of moved up over here. I guess no one's got space for the object library. So there's the object library now. When you click on the plus sign, it kind of floats above your project here. And you'll notice, like at first I thought, though, that's annoying, I can't drag it in. But when you click and drag on something, it immediately disappears. So it gives you the room to drag things in. You'll also notice it goes away. So you have to reselect the object library if you want to drag a second thing in here. There's a couple different options here also in the object library. We don't usually use any of these object items over here, the system items, or I don't even know what that is over there. But usually you start with just the objects here. I'll have to research what these other buttons are. Let's see, if we hover over it, it says it's a show the image library. Show the image library. So I don't have any images in my image library. And this other one is the color library. Oh, cool. So I guess you can have your colors in there. But these are our objects. There's a couple of options here. You can kind of just view the objects in different ways. You can also hide this extra descriptive area back here on the side. So if you want to view it in different ways, you can view it in different ways. That's the object library. The other thing that you'll find is, like, let's say we want to make a connection here. We want to see our code on one side and the storyboard on the other. You used to have those like Olympic rings up here. You click on the Olympic rings to bring up the assistant editor. You'd think this is the assistant editor, but this isn't. This is code review. So this is like changes in your code. Instead, the assistant editor is now in this editor screen up here, assistant. So editor, assistant. And that'll bring up the two windows like you're used to. You can make some room here. And then, again, you'd select something, hit Control, hit Control and click and drag to make your outlets or your actions. And it's not a button, so we can't make an action out of it. So that's how you do your assistant editor. You can close out the assistant editor now by just clicking this X button, or you can go into the assistant editor again. And I assume if you hit these buttons, these are symbols for buttons, like for a key combination, is that Alt, Command, I don't know. If you can decode this up here, then that's your shortcut. I don't have patience for that. Anybody got time for that? All right, that's all I wanted to show you. The object library is now here. The assistant editor is up here. And then don't forget to choose storyboard instead of SwiftUI unless you're brave like me and you want to make a SwiftUI app. That's what we got. Hopefully this makes things easier for you.